I'm Cecilia.
And I'm Justin.
And we're
Geeklove 223.
So today we're going to start a whole new video series on this channel that's all about
Tropes.
If you are a geek and you don't spend your whole entire life thinking about or discussing tropes, you're not doing it right, honey.
Right.
So
we just wanted to go over and discuss with each other, in fact, just some favorite and least favorite tropes of ours. This could be from anything, so most of these are probably not specific to, video games or books or anything. More of storytelling in general.
yeah.
So, would you like to go first?
Sure. So, I have to say, personally, that my favorite trope of all time is the quirky cast of characters that become a family.
I've heard this one. She's mentioned it a lot. Firefly,
Buffy.
A lot of shows, actually. I think this is a lot of good shows.
Yeah, pretty much all of the shows and book series that I love the most all have this trope. And basically, I think that my favorite thing about it is that no matter how long the journey is, the way that these, non-biological families kind of like explore their interpersonal relationships are never endlessly fascinating to me. And I was raised with the idea that you can always choose your family. So the fact that these stories always have that theme at its heart really speaks to me.
Well, and funny enough, I love that trope as well. Because the thing is, like, a lot of shows I like have a lot of characters who are kind of, they're unified in their goals or whatever, but they become a family.
Yeah.
I know she hasn't watched it. Don't blame her. She doesn't know any better. Yu Yu Hakusho. Anyone who knows about that, it's these four guys. So we got Kuwabara. It's just, my name's Kazuo Kuwabara, badass with a sword.
That's a trope in itself.
He's the dork, but that everybody underestimates. But he's awesome. Golden heart right here. There's Yusuke Urameshi, the adolescent asshole main character. That's a trope in itself. There's Hiei, the demon who is like one of the main villains of the original arc. And then he becomes a good guy because, I don't know, he's got nothing better to do. But he's like kind of the jerk. And then there's Kurama, who's like the pacifist. But the thing is, they all are like kind of, it's just seeing them interact and becoming basically brothers by the end of it. And it's it's heartwarming to see these guys who originally wouldn't even want to be seen next to each other are all of a sudden fighting for each other.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure I can guess, but what is one of your favorite tropes?
Well, so one of my favorite tropes, you might have seen this coming, but one of my favorite tropes is actually the third path. Now, what do I mean by that? It's like when the main character is usually given like a binary option, here's a good one.
Oh, like ultimatums?
Yep. Let's take Avatar: The Last Airbender, for example. Aang, the Avatar, is given two options. Let the Fire Nation win and kill everybody and enslave very bad option, but it's an option. Or kill Fire Lord Ozai and break his vow of pacifism. So people have basically said, if you don't kill Fire Lord Ozai, I guess we're fudged. Yeah, that's the thing. But he chooses a third path. Mm-hmm. A path nobody thought about. He just takes Ozai's abilities away. Mm-hmm. Which people are like, you could do that? It's like, well, yeah, he looked hard enough.
Yeah.
I like when a main character uses cleverness or their spirit to just find a third way so they don't have to be constricted by that binary ultimatum. That, in the end, both ends are bad, kinda. And I just like it when a character can break through the confines, because life isn't binary.
Exactly. I think that that's why this trope really speaks to me as a positive influence in fictional media, is that this is how humans work. You know, we try to put ultimatums on each other, but at the end of the day, you always have more than two options in your life with whatever decision that you have to make.
I mean, I would say I even enjoy the stories where a character breaks free from the ultimatum and his third choice ends up being worse,
Yeah.
but it was their choice.
Exactly, because I think that creators who give their characters an A option or a B
Yeah.
option,
And everything is just pressing that these are the only options.
it brings a facade to it that like is really hard for the audience to connect with. I think that people really connect with having that third path.
And it's just like, and with Avatar, it felt kind of forced because, literally everybody's telling him this.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking to his past lives and they're all telling him, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now it's just feeling forced.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what about another one of your favorites?
So it's funny that you talk about force, because one of my favorite tropes has to do with a single woman kind of challenging the patriarchal society and inspiring change, because at the end of the day, what ultimately happens within that trope is that they inspire all manner of humans, whether they be male, female, or something in between. That woman,
And even if they're not fighting against patriarchal, maybe just anything, really.
yeah,
Just
and that woman kind of like inspires change and unites all kinds of people to be able to not even fight against. It's more about fighting for kind of this humanistic approach to living.
right.
And I think that when it's about fighting for humanity, I think that that's when I love this trope the most.
And also the thing is, usually I like this trope as well because it's this character who goes to these other people and inspires them.
Yeah.
This powerful, powerful presence that they have not felt before and is what they needed.
Yes, and I think that it makes it even more impactful that this character is a woman, because our society just tells us that we can't be that inspiring change, you know. So I think that this trope isn't only one of my favorite ones. I think it's one of the most important and impactful tropes that has ever been presented to fictional material.
And the thing is, some characters that have used this trope, and its gender cousin trope, I would say. Gender cousin trope? No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I just figure characters like that become inspiring.
Yeah. And like a force to reckon with, definitely.
Right. Well, let's see. Actually, talking about inspiring, that goes into my next favorite trope.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a trope that I am giddy all over for. Yeah, I watch shonen shows, what of it. I watch, kid show, Beyblade, all of that. But the old foes become new friends. I like it when like an enemy in like season 1 who, it's this jerk. It's this guy who they've been fighting for the entire time. But like later in season 3, they get to know him
Mm-hmm.
or her. And they just start they become one of the greatest allies.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, funny enough, or even just showing off the true potential of this character that as an enemy they really couldn't bring out.
Mm-hmm.
One specific example I have is the anime Fairy Tail. And whatever your thoughts are on Fairy Tail, there's a character named Juvia, who used to be the enemy and really just kind of a one-note villain. It's like, oh, she turns into water and she makes rain everywhere she appears. But by meeting Gray, who she has a psychotic obsession with, I'm not even going to say crush, it's more of psychotic obsession, she decides to join Fairy Tail, and she turns into this very well-rounded character. Granted, a well-rounded character, completely obsessed with somebody, but it shows kind of this different side to her that we wouldn't have seen if she was just a one-off villain.
Yeah. For me personally, this trope really works well in things like X-Men, the Xavier versus Magneto, where on the surface they're opposing forces, but when you really get down to it, at the core they have the same beliefs. It's just the fact that they're willing to do different things for those beliefs, and so ultimately I don't know if that really applies, because I guess that's more like frenemies.
Well, no, because there are characters who have swapped sides because of the ideals. Rogue, for example.
Yeah.
She was a part of the Brotherhood, but then became a part of the X-Men as one of their most notable members.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess, that has happened a lot throughout X-Men / Brotherhood rivalry.
Oh, completely. And I mean, it's a swapping thing. They're pulled in by the other's ideology.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember any specifics. Wolverine was apparently a part of the Brotherhood at one.
Storm was.
Yeah.
Storm was a part of the Brotherhood.
Magneto led the X-Men at one point.
And Havoc was a part of the X-Men and then joined the Brotherhood.
And for very unselfish and very good reasons, from what I remember.
He was in love with Magneto's daughter?
Never mind, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
He had reasons, I guess. I was thinking of another character.
There was actually good reasons, because there was like some brother drama that happened too.
Well, with Cyclops, there's always brother drama. No, there's drama.
Yeah, speaking of trash talking, should we get into our least favorite trope?
I think we should.
Should I start? I got a really good one.
Feel free.
Okay, so one of my least. Well, okay. I'm kind of trash for this one, but I have to hate it just on principle. Okay, so are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I am the super special king. I'm so good looking. It doesn't matter what happens. I survive every battle and I fulfill every prophecy. And my name is commonly John. Jon. So, and I'm not, this isn't just me trash talking Game of Thrones, I'll have you know. This is
she's trash talking something else.
There's multiple book series that have this trope of the king that has curly black hair, whose name is John, who it's undefeatable, and it doesn't matter what happens in this series, because they're the ultimate.
Also, I think a specific John you might be talking about might also not leave a certain main character alone.
Yeah, I just.
Or should we not touch that?
Let's not. I think this trope is over.
Over. for the queen's name, Bob. Actually, I have another trope that is just as bad for me. And funny enough, I'm glad you cleansed my fears. So, pre-friends, I am starting Buffy Season 3.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. All I know is there's a new character showing up that is basically like, I thought was going to be like another character, but better. And that was going to... So, that's the trope. They're you, but better.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Anything, I can do anything better than you.
Yeah.
But...
I think it's annoying, too.
And it's... The thing is, it's like, okay, so here's how the trope usually happens. It usually happens to the main character, by the way. Main character shows up, oh, there's a guy who has all of the main character's quirks. Mm-hmm. So, all of his imperfections. But he's also handsome, ripped, star athlete, better at what the main character does, and everyone loves him more and wants to hang out with him more.
Oh, yeah. And guess what? The first thing that this character does is they steal your partner and all your friends and, like, every, like, just, like, everything. They just steal everything.
And then it just gets into a pissing match because, and then, the friends are obviously like, well, why'd you do that?
Yeah. And the best part is because they're better than you, they have to pretend that they're not better than you. So they're just sitting there going, what? But I didn't mean to.
And most of the time it ends with they're secretly evil or something.
Right.
Or
like psychotic.
Either that or just, oh no, they are the perfect character. Live in their shadow until the inevitable ending when they screw up or something. Oh, and then the main character, is stupid and says, I'm gonna jump in recklessly and try to prove myself.
Right, because that is always what you do. Okay, now I'm gonna really go in now, okay? I was just like...
Prepping you.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's like the ultimate trope that I dislike the most. Okay. So, love triangles. But specifically, the love triangles where it's like, I'm a confused girl, but I have a winning personality.
Winning!
And in between, I am currently in between two boys, and one of them is the nice guy who knows that we were meant to be, and the bad boy who knows who I am.
Who I truly am.
What?
But has soul pain.
I'm damaged but fabulous.
I love you so much.
I love you too. But I just think that, like, this trope is actually really detrimental because, ladies, you don't need nobody telling you that you were meant to be or that they know you. Because if that's the case, they don't need to tell you. You just know. You know?
You know you. You know you better than anyone else, and
Absolutely.
Don't have anyone else tell you.
Yeah. So don't even buy into that trope or into that if that's a part of your life.
Yeah, it's problematic, and also most of the time, it's kind of also one of those things where it's like, the untouched guy usually ends up being kind of iffy.
Yeah.
Like having kind of a complex. Or if he truly is a nice guy, well, he should at least be realistic.
Yeah. Everybody has flaws, and if you don't think someone does, watch out.
That's very unhealthy if you don't think they have flaws.
Yeah.
Actually, if they don't have flaws, be afraid of them.
No, I would. That's very sociopathic behavior.
It's also very scary, kind of. Like, what deal did they make?
And you might, like, find yourself comparing to this person that seemingly doesn't have any flaws, and that's never healthy either.
The thing is, if you love someone, you love them for their flaws. And everything else, of course.
Yeah. Wanna bring us on home, baby?
Yes, I am. Going to... here's a favorite of mine. And by the way, I figured out recently why they do this. Okay, any upcoming writers, please, I want to tell you something. Please do not use this trope as an excuse for anti-world building or to fill plot holes. It's when a character says, too complicated for you to understand.
Oh my goodness. I'm like so tired of that.
Or it's like an interdimensional being shows up and says, you could not possibly understand.
Right? And I feel like too commonly is this like, it is commonly manifested today as like, I'm super special. So you couldn't possibly like get where I'm coming from because I'm like the best there ever was.
I'm the only person in the 3 whatever billion people on this planet who has ever lived in the history of humanity that has ever, I don't know, seen a loved one be angry at him.
Duh.
Also, I'm 17 years old and like the world should be destroyed because apparently I know everything now.
And no one got my text message.
That's a whole nother thing, but essentially, it's when a character is basically like, I'm not going to explain it. Why? Because it's just too complicated. Try to explain it. At least try to.
Like, I guarantee
Give people the benefit of the doubt.
You're not like the smartest person in the world. It's cute that you think that, but it's not true.
Funny enough, it's, who is the smartest person? I bet if we actually Googled it, there's like an IQ.
Albert Einstein.
Yeah, I guess so. By the way, also, R.I.P., I believe it was Stephen Hawking.
No. Albert Einstein beat him.
No. Well, I mean, R.I.P. as it.
We digress.
But anyway, that was some of our favorite and least favorite tropes, and we'll be coming at you with more videos trope related.
And we also just want to throw out there real quick that, like, you might hate the tropes that we love. You might love the tropes that we hate.
And
we're not hating on you. We're just hating on these tropes.
We personally do not like some of these tropes or love some of these tropes.
Yeah.
And if you have a completely different opinion than us, please be advised, your opinion is yours, and it is the truest opinion
and
to you.
And we want to know it. Like, what do you feel about the tropes we mentioned in this video? And also, what are some tropes that you love or hate?
Yeah, please. And if you comment, we could have a little discussion of it.
Yes.
So, we all hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, an amazing year.
Okay, that's all we have for today, and have a great day. We love you.
We love you. Bye.